John Conyers, longest serving member of the House, is stepping down today. He was on a radio program and he said, "I'm retiring today." It is a sad ending to what was a great career. He's 88 years old. He was both a Democratic Party legend and a civil rights legend. But unfortunately, we found out that he had been doing things with female staffers that were wildly inappropriate, to say the least. Multiple staffers have come out. Remember, they're all Democrats, and they, just like the overwhelming majority of accusers of both Democrats, Republicans, celebrities, and anyone else, there's no reason for them to lie. It doesn't mean that every person is guilty, but it does mean that believing the woman makes sense. That in the past, that has not always been the assumption, and that was wrong. And so, and Conyers does not have very good explanations here. He says about the accusers, quote, "I can't explain where they came from." Well, I can. They came from your office. So Marion Brown had a settlement as late as 2015 with him, but she broke her silence and said that it's important for her to speak out to protect other women. And the story she told was a harrowing one, now backed up by other people that have worked with John Conyers. Now, during the program, Conyers said he told Gaddis his legacy can't be compromised or diminished in any way by the allegations. Well, if only it were so, but that's not true. Of course his legacy is tarnished by this. That part is a shame because unlike the monsters on the right or in Hollywood, John Conyers had actually done great things for the country. And as recently as right now, when he was fighting for Medicare for all, it was his bill that got so much traction and pushed the Democratic Party in the right direction. So Roger Ailes, I think, did a lot of damage to the country. I wasn't sorry to see the charges against him, and nor was I surprised. And the list goes on and on. Roy Moore, etc. But for Conyers, I was surprised. And it is a mixed record. So what he did with these women is, if true, is terrible, and it certainly seems true. So let me be clear. There was another one who came out on Monday night. Former staffer Elisa Grubbs said Conyers groped her, and that such behavior was, quote, "a regular part of life while working in the office of Representative Conyers." And it doesn't matter the other good that you've done. Not that it erases it. It doesn't. Both are real. But it doesn't matter that you've done those great things if you've also done these terrible things. And so you've got to go, and the Democratic leadership did turn and say that he should resign, including largely from what we saw reports, the Congressional Black Caucus. And so in fact, he did resign. So final note on this is that Conyers then endorsed someone in the race, his son, John Conyers III, to succeed him in Congress. Now, I don't know anything about John Conyers III, so I will, withhold thoughts on his policies or positions or whether he should be in Congress. But as a general note, I must note that I am very tired of our democracy being treated like it's not a democracy and it's something to be handed off as if people are royalty. So it's true of Democrats and Republicans. So George W. Bush was an imbecile. But he was the son of George H.W. Bush, who was already a president, and earlier than that had been a senator and the head of the CIA. So he was anointed just because he was a son. He was plainly, clearly not intelligent, not qualified. And we elected him anyway. Oh, his last name is Bush. And then the Clintons, her last name is Clinton. Now people are talking about Chelsea Clinton. Can we move on? I think there's a lot of great people in the country. They don't have to have the same last name as the person who was just there. So not saying anything about John Conyers III, but I am tired of people thinking that this is a system of lords and princes and kings and queens, and that we pass the mantle in that way. No, it's supposed to be a democracy where we all have a chance. And of course, throughout most of his career, that's actually what John Conyers fought for. And I hope that that is also remembered in this sad day when he resigns and should have resigned. What you just watched was one of the videos that we do today, but we actually do a whole 2-hour show every single day. It's a podcast. You can watch it in video or listen to it as audio. You can download it, you can stream it, and you get it completely ad-free if you could become a member of the Young Turks. tytnetwork.com/join.